Good morning, everybody. Of course, it could be afternoon or evening or even night. You could be watching this on the replay. So thank you so very much for doing so. We have 16 stories queued and ready to go. No idea if we're going to make it through, but hey, we will try. We will persevere. We will try and do what is unlikely. I want to say thank you to Captain Trek for promoting today's show over on his channel, The Morning Brew, his early morning show. You can check that out. He's also got another show later on, in fact, almost immediately following this one. I believe it's on Eureka, the television program. I think you can follow along over on Peacock. At least that's what I'd learned this morning over there on his stream. Pretty excited otherwise with everything else that we've got to cover. We've got another minute here, even though that'll make us a tiny bit late. Again, that's my fault for trying to update the tags. I hope everybody's having a great day and pretty excited. Got a lot of great folks hanging out in the chat. We've got many people that were here really early, including Wookiee Supremacy. There's D-Bud Martin. There's Captain Trek. Got Janet from Another Planet hanging out with us. Mr. Redshirt is here. Biggles is hanging on. Got a lot of folks. I really appreciate all your support. OC Dobbins, and again, D-Bud Martin's still out there. We got Master Sidearms. It's gonna be a fun stream. So hope you guys are ready. You got Pat S. He's ready to roll. Zax is here. Rob Altus is hanging out with us. Bobby Campbell. Haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see, we got Bosco Scenario hanging out. What's going on, Gascar? Jack, what's up, Jack? Been missing you, brother. Hope you're doing well. And there's Trina. Hi, Trina. Hope you're good. Hey, the Gaze Agenda is with us with Red Gaze. On that note, here we go, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are and whenever you're watching. Thank you for checking out this 6-Minute Daily. We have a lot to cover and not a lot of time to do it in. We also have a lot of shows to promote later on, including the one I mentioned with Captain Trek, but we also have Midnight's Edge in the morning. We have a whole lot of other things, other places you can go immediately following this show. There's a decent chance that later on in Midnight's Edge in the morning, I'll actually make an appearance, but I can't say that for sure because I actually have work and stuff to do. So with that being said, we're going to continue to move forward and cover our first story, which is weird. Facebook's going to limit politics. Boost friends, says the spokesman on Meet the Press. They are trying to put down all of these negative stories that they've been getting, just the sweeping scandals that they've been subjected to or have been being reported, at least of late, from anywhere from the Instagram stuff to the actual Facebook problems that they have. And the Twitch leak isn't helping them because now we know that they have actual do not ban lists on these tech companies because they all kind of mirror each other's practices. Just keep that in mind next time you're paying attention to anything that anybody that gets banned on social media. Just realize that somebody is never going to get banned on social media. Moving on for there, Judge Judy bailiff Petrie Hawkins Bird, of course, that's his last name, speaking out on his absence from the new Judy Justice show. Well, they've decided to go with an entirely different cast with the exception of Judge Judy, or at least that's what Judy herself said to him in a phone call. It's an interesting story, kind of a bummer. He was the bailiff for a very long time. Kind of a downer, but I'm sure he'll find another place to go. It like I said, new show, new cast. At least that's what Judge Judy herself says. Moving on from there, we have the box office for No Time to Die. It's debuting slightly behind expectations. No, it's debuting a lot behind expectations. And of course, internationally, the film has globally reached that $300 million mark, but that's really not telling you the whole story. Even in the several stories that came out about this weekend, including this one here, 5 takeaways from the final Bond film. They are letting you know that this isn't going to hit any records. This isn't going to do anything that's, overly impressive. In fact, they are predicting that this will underperform, and that's a real shame. I am a huge Bond fan, but at least they are starting to acknowledge, despite all the fluffy words, that you'll find in many of these stories, that this film is not going to be profitable. And to be honest with you, there was no way it was going to be, especially after all the length of time, all the amounts of interest, the multiple promotional campaigns, the fact that it cost $250 million to begin with. So yeah, it's this film's got problems. And of course, they're talking about why the No Time to Die opening is good news for theaters, even if MGM doesn't break even. As you can see, we're getting less and less positive as the stories go on, even, from within the sphere of all these people that normally cooperate with each other. But 56 million domestic opening with lots of 35 and over moviegoers means good things, especially for Oscar contenders like House of Gucci. At least that's the subheadline here. I don't know for sure if this film is going to get even close to breaking even ever. It's definitely not going to do it in theatrical release. And even if it does go and get the China bucks, speaking of that, we have the highest grossing film of 2021 is only 11 days in. And of course, it's in China. It is a Chinese propaganda film. And of course, it's going to rule the box office. This is how you get your social credit score. This is the thing that you don't want in any government around the world. This system that places your privileges on a list that you have of things you must do to comply. This is happening, and now StreamYard has decreased my speed. I wonder if that's coincidental. Moving on from there, Blue Origin delays space flight set to carry William Shatner into space. Of course, this is kind of a bummer, but they only pushed it back a day. So it was scheduled for the 12th. They were moving it back to the 13th, which is Wednesday. So it's quite possible that 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, William Shatner will finally make his way into actual space. From there, we have Paul McCartney coming forward saying that it was John's choice to break up the Beatles. Well, I think we all kind of figured that at a certain point in time, and it's not the first time I'd heard it, but I think it's interesting that he went on the radio and in BBC, one of the channels there, and actually said as much. But hey, I will be your Yoko Ono, right? Moving on from there, Brian Stelter is calling out the media for normalizing destructive political behavior. Well, guess what? We're talking about the Americans' trust in media. This number has been going down substantially from 2016. In fact, Axios is even covering this going back a few weeks ago. I've been trying to bring this to the forefront for a while. Nobody believes the fake news. There's a tiny little percentage that buys the things that were presented, but nobody believes them because they have been so wrong so many times, and obviously driven by something other than providing you facts and figures. From there, of course, Jim Acosta turns around and says, we need to be worried about the bully in chief. Well, look, name calling things like that's not very newsworthy. In fact, that's the difference between news and, commentary. And right now, CNN, or at least for a long, long time, MSNBC, many of these news networks, even Fox, has been guilty of commentary. Now, we have the video games industry Me Too reckoning erupting into a government turf war between the federal government and the state of California. And that's getting bigger and bigger as we go. And two of the parents that were convicted in the first trial of the college bribery scandal are in big trouble. And they only took a few hours to deliberate the case. And that's it. Ran out of time. Had two more to go. Be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. Wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye. Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.